Good morning. Sniffies again. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Morning, Daryl. GTG. Have a different view this morning. Thanks for hitting the like button. Grow a garden. Hi there, 222. That's my doggy's birthday. That's his birthday. How are you doing, hon? I have a different view today. The sunrise over there is kind of, yeah. And I said, I'll just put it over here where there's a little bit more color. So good morning. It is Saturday, August 30th, 2025. And as soon as I came out here, my nose started running. Sorry about the sniffs. I have to get a tissue. I don't know, as soon as I go outside. I never had allergies, but I guess this is the year for me, huh? So where are you coming from, Grow a Garden? I'm marking a map where everybody is with pins. And I'd love to put you on there if you want me to. I usually start at 6 o'clock, but it was so dark. It's kind of silly to do a sunrise in the dark. And this month is almost over already. Samira, hey baby, how you doing? How are you? I'm always happy to see you as well. It's 45 degrees here in Pittsburgh. Whew, chilly. You're doing good? Not awesome? Just good. Just good. Give me another adjective. You're better? Okay. I guess I'll take that. Meet a star. Good morning, my darling. How you doing? Daryl says hi, Samira. Joey Farr, hey, there he is. Thanks for coming. Thank you very much. Good morning, Mita Star again. Mita says hi to Daryl and to Mita Star. Oh, I need a tissue. 45 degrees out here. Whew, it's August. It's August, for goodness sake. But I guess we'll take it after all that heat and humidity. So where are you coming from? I have a map I'm trying to mark with pins. Okay, Samira, where are you coming from, honey? So I can mark my map with a pin for you before you leave, kiddo. Um, Mita, where are you coming from? And Joey, I want to put you on my map. It's a pretty sunrise there. Still kind of just white over on the left side where I usually go. Over here, it still has some color. The sun's coming up behind a big old tree. Las Vegas. We were going to move there, Samira, a long time ago. Thanks for the heart. I appreciate that. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate those. Big hugs. Or my likes are big hugs. I love it, love it, love it. All right, we got 15 in the house now. That's pretty good for a Saturday morning. Oh, Key West, Florida. Jeremiah, how you doing there, darling? I'm trying to get down to Florida to see my best friend. He is in St. Pete. Um, he said his neighborhood still, like his neighbor across the street, doesn't have a roof on his house from that bad storms last year. Whew, he's so worried about this. Hey, Daryl with one R, how you doing there? Hi, Daryl. Key West, Florida. I had some great aunts that used to go uh, to Key West every year. They loved it there. You like that down there, Jeremiah? I'm up here in Pittsburgh, PA. How's the weather down there? You're not getting any storms yet, hurricanes or anything yet? God almighty. Oh, you're leaving, Samira? Okay. Thanks for checking in with me. Thank you. I'll miss you. It's very rainy. Okay. Well, better than it's not a bad storm though, right, Jeremiah? Because those things are scary. My friend evacuated last year. He never evacuates. Making breakfast, egg on toast. It's nice and warm here. It's 45 degrees here this morning. Oh, it's a bit chilly. Just a bit chilly. Just need a little bit of spice in there, but I'm not going to be complaining. I think God has enough complaints going on there, so I'll just let him have this one. I'm going to get my coffee in a minute and perhaps a tissue because as soon as I walked out here, my nose started running. I've never had allergies. Never. Never, never. Never say never, right? Oh, geez. There I go. Sniffing, sniffing. Yeah, we're looking at a different view this morning. We're on the right side of the tree instead of the left side of the tree. So it was a little brighter and a little more color to it. Over on the other side, it's kind of just like a white color with all the clouds and everything. I have loved Key West for 30 years, but it's time to leave. Moving to South Carolina. That's not a bad place. I had a friend there that lived there. He lived right on, where did he live? He lived in Myrtle Beach. I think it was North Myrtle Beach he lived. Now I'm going to doubt myself. Maybe it was South. I don't know. I have his address. He used to live there. He's with our Heavenly Father now. When you're my age, your friends start to go to heaven. So it's rough. So that's all I always say. Always hug someone. That's why I like when you guys hit that like button because those are nice hugs. So 21 degrees there. Where the heck are you, Daryl? You're moving to Hilton Head. Okay. You're going from one hurricane place to another hurricane place. So what don't you like Key West anymore? Is it Portugal? That's right, Daryl, Portugal. Why didn't I remember that? Portugal. I have to put that on my map there. Daryl with one R is Portugal. Okay, because my Daryl has two R's. So today I'm going to upload. Speaking of Daryl, I cooked yesterday on a recipe. I videoed solo. So it's more like a shits and giggles episode, comedy, me trying to cook. But as you can see, I try to I eat more than I do cooking. But I made Salisbury steak meatballs in the crock pot and served them on mashed potatoes for him and some green beans. Uh, but it took all day to make that because you have to put it in a crock pot and then wait 6 hours, and then you got to put something else in and 10 more minutes of cooking. But I mean, it's not a hard recipe. But today I'm going to video a recipe called Big Mac tacos. We tried that one. The one I did yesterday, I never tried, so it took me a little longer. But it is kind of comedic how the things that went wrong. But the Big Mac tacos we did make, you make the sauce yourself, and it really does taste like. Hi, Emma. Emma Alice. How are you? Oh, thank you. I'm not doing it. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Daryl. He brought me some tissues. The Hubs is home today. Oh, he brought me coffee and tissues. What a good Hubs. Awesome, awesome sauce. Oh, that's okay, love. I was a teacher, so probably you speak better English than some of my American children. I'm so sorry for being rude and blowing my nose, but it's better than listen to me sniff all morning. All right, Emma, do you have like a translation to listen to us when I get started? Russell's here. Yes, I put it on the other side of my neighbor's house. There was more color. There's my friend, handsome Dean. Good morning, Dean. Uh, yeah, I was just telling them I have a map with little pins, and I used to do Flat Stanley with my students. I don't know if you know about Flat Stanley. He was this boy. It's a fictitious. It's a fiction book that I read with my kindergartens. Flat Stanley. His bulletin board fell on him, and he was flat. So he wanted to go places. So they mailed him. So my kids used to make a Flat Stanley and mail it to their grandparents, and then the grandparents would take pictures of them doing things with Flat Stanley. So we used to mark it on a map, where all the Flat Stanleys went. And then the grandparents would send the pictures back, pictures of where they went with Flat Stanley. And so we used to put it on the map of all the places that Flat Stanley went. So I have the little pins from that, and I'm going to put them on my map that I got here to put all my peeps on there. And even if you're not subscribed, I'll put you on there. Let's see. Alexander, you're back. Man, I was just asking about you. I was like, where's Alexander Antonio? So, well, I guess it's turning white over here now. Well, you guys are a little bit behind present time. I'll do the switcheroo and get started today, but I'm gonna have to starting. That makes sense. At 6:30, a little after that, because 6 o'clock is not happening right now until we change the clocks. I think the first week of November we change fall back, turn the clocks back 1 hour here in the United States, which is always fun because I have about 50 clocks in my house. I collect clocks, in case you didn't know that about me. Used to get on everybody's nerves when I was, my clocks would be tick-tocking, and then everybody start to like it. They like my clocks now. They say it's very soothing to hear my clocks because you can hear them. Yeah, I love clocks. I don't know why. Well, I had a boy in my class who he gave me a clock for Christmas. Hi, Kelly. He gave me a clock, and he wrote on the card with his own little 5-year-old handwriting, and he said, "Mrs. Davis, take this gift for the time together." Maybe it was for the end of the school year. It was this really neat little clock for, like, your mantle. Thank you, Alexander. I'm probably always on time. You know, Cal, I used to be always on time, and I was just telling Daryl the other day, I am such a frazzle since I retired, and I don't understand what happened to me. I'm so unorganized. I have papers everywhere. It's like it's craziness to me. I don't know what happened to me. My classroom was so organized, and I knew where papers were most of the time. I had a spot for everything. I don't know. My office is just flat surfaces are horrible to me anymore. It just piles up and piles up. So I told Daryl, now we're gonna have to have A-frame tables because we can't have flat surfaces anymore. Because I'll say, "Can you take this upstairs for me?" And he'll go right to the top of the steps. We either put it on the counter that we cleared during my decluttering phase, or he'll put it right on the island. And he did that yesterday because I was shooting a video for those Salisbury steak meatballs, that video I was making yesterday. He had something, he come up the stairs, he put it there. I said, "Hey, this is my stage right now. Clear that off." Because years ago he made an island for me. Because our other house we had didn't have any counter space. And I said, when we buy a new house, we're gonna get with counter space. Sure enough, he fell in love with this house and no counter space and tons of steps. Oh my goodness. We both have artificial hips. So I don't know. He asked me the one day, he says, "This guy is getting rid of this Stairmaster." What's that called? When you sit on it and it goes up the steps. I'm like, I am not going to have one of those things. You sit in it and it takes you up and down no, no, I'm not that decrepit. I know what happened. You want to work again. I have found out in retirement I have to ease it. It is, you know, Russell. I used to say, "Oh, if I had time off, I could do this, this, and this." And it starts out that way. Yeah, you get the time off just like having summers off for teachers. But no, it's so quiet and it's lonely unless you have a lot of people around you. Um, and what am I doing right now? I'm talking to you, love. I'm looking at the sunrise and meditating, drinking my coffee that my hubs gave me, and trying not to get a runny nose. What are you doing? What are you doing, Alexander? Huh? What you doing now? I'm getting my map ready to show you guys. One side is the whole the whole world, but there's so many people I know in the United States, it flips over and you have a bigger United States map. Oh, Kelly, that is my phrase. Once you lose it, once you stop using it, you lose it. I have a master's degree in computers, and you see how I struggle now. I graduated that master's degree in 2009, I believe it was. Good. Glad you didn't take it. My MLA started using one, and I think that's why she lost her bill. Yep. Yep. No, I make my new hip go up the steps and that. So thank God Daryl put 2 banisters in. Um, he put 2 banisters in. Is your Daryl, is your subscription um public on what, like, if I look at my subscribers, I can see them? Because all the ones that I can see, I have gone to, visited, and subscribed to. Um, but I don't recall if I saw yours. I've, like, been on hundreds of sites because I just keep going over them and that, and then I meet new people at other people. Like, Kelly has subscribers, I have subscribers, and I tell you what, anyway, yeah, I refresh my memory, what is your, channel about? Okay, I think I was on there because I remember I said Daryl with 1 R, but was it with the pond? Was that the one with the pond? I can't remember. I'm old. I have to put something on a Post-it to remember why I went into the dining room from the kitchen, Daryl. But I do. I honestly do go to, other channels and check them out. Oh, this coffee is good. Can you refresh my memory, Daryl, before we get started? Because I'm trying to remember. I remember seeing one that was like a pond, but I think that was, see, if I know your first name, I don't know your channel name, and vice versa. Right, but I don't wanna do that right now during the show, honey. Okay. Yeah, I'm not if I click on that, Kelly can tell you, I'll lose everything. I'm not tech savvy here. Lucky I learned how to use this new microphone. Okay, let me get this over here and see if I can move you away here from that because it's going away. And we'll look at my map here. Oh, okay. SeaWorld. Okay. I think I did right on that. I don't know. I have to. Okay, here we go. Here's my map. You can see it. Can you guys see it? Let me put it down some more. Let me see if I can move this without ruining everything. But here's my map. And here's my little pins that I'm going to put different color ones and try to keep track of where everybody is. Okay. And then on the back of it is the big United States, so I can put more people on there that from the United States. All right, I'll have to check that out, Daryl, again. I do remember vaguely. Daryl said he subbed to you. Daryl with 2 R's subbed to Daryl with 1 R. Hello, Schrodinger. Wait, so you said that to me. I gotta not look at your name. Schrodinger. Oh, hi again, babe. I'm sorry. I was just showing him my map. I'm gonna be putting these little pins in there. And this is a bigger spot for United States because I know more people from United States. And so United States over here is really tiny and I can hardly put anything in there. So I have the big United States there, and I'm going to be putting all these little pins in there. So what do you guys think of that? It's laminated. I have it on this like a thicker board from the Dollar Tree. Schrodinger. You know, my husband's there. Schrodinger Dinger that he always corrects me. Did you see the movie where the video we did on Shits and Giggles where he's supposed to be Serge and I changed it to Sarge and then he told me just call him Bob. I have a very hard time with phonetics, linguistics. I don't know why that is. So there's the map. There's the pins and all that fun stuff. Let's go over here now. Oh my goodness. And I'll get me all set up here. Okay. I gotta get my other phone because I definitely cannot see what you guys are saying there. And I'm sitting on the ottoman, so I'm rather low. Let's see. I'm low down to the ground. Okay. Yeah, just make his head more bigger, Mr. Schrodinger. Dinger. He's going to be correcting me all the time. He always corrects me. So, here I am. Good morning. Happy Saturday, August 30th. Yesterday I had my Fitbit plugged in, and the day before, and I kept forgetting to put it on. I was so lost without my watch. Well, just like a lot of you young ones are lost without your phones. So I can do without a phone. That's what happens when you live with a teacher. Blah, 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 blah. That's what I say. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'm going to find my page. So let me put my finger in here, find a page in this one. And it says, wait a minute. All right. I don't know why this ribbon thing's, it's all getting all frayed in here. When we used to do, Daryl and I always do prayers in the morning together. Um, okay. Do I need to read anything here? Also, thanks for the sub, Daryl. Yeah, I think I sub too because even though you don't post anything, some of my subs I can't make comments on too. It says no comments allowed or comments turned off. That's what it says. All right. So what I have here this morning is it says, wait till this car goes by. Last night we went live from the porch instead of doing the trivia, and it was so quiet. You couldn't even hear anything out here. We had the nicest time out here, laughing so hard. I was telling the story about me at the grocery store. I wasn't even ringing the stuff. I was just putting it right in the bag as I was talking. It's crazy. I'm crazy. All right. It says, demonstrate your trust in me. By sitting quietly in my presence, put aside all that is waiting to be done and refuse to worry about anything. This sacred time together strengthens you and prepares you to face whatever the day will bring. By waiting with me, before you begin the day's activities, you proclaim the reality of my living presence. This act of faith, waiting before working, is noted in the spirit world, where your demonstration of trust weakens principalities and powers of darkness. God knows I hate the darkness. I've told you guys about that before, my chronic depression. The most effective way to resist evil is to draw near me. When you need to take action, I will guide you clearly through my spirit and my word. The world is so complex and overstimulating, that's true, that you can easily lose your sense of direction. How true is that, guys? Losing our sense of direction. Doing countless unnecessary activities that will dissipate your energy. When you spend time with me, I restore your sense of direction. As you look for me and to me for guidance, I enable you to do less but accomplish more. Wow. I restore your sense of direction. As you look for me for guidance, I enable you to do less but accomplish more. That's a blessing. I mean, a lot of us are just overworked, don't you think? And not only do you have to do work, you have to get your house redded up, cleaned up. That's a Pittsburgh word. And we have to take our kids here, there, and everywhere. Or if you're older, you're taking care of your parents and you're a caretaker, like Dean. Dean's a caretaker. He's waiting to get his life back. His mom got run over by a car and she's getting better. I think my friend Anthony, his mom is 87 and she was in a car accident. And we have to take care of our parents. We do. And no matter what. I didn't have an awesome relationship with my father, but I sure took care of him because he's my dad. Um, just what you do. Um, Even if there was a stranger that needed you, I'm sure a lot of you would, lend a helping hand. We don't always have money to help people, but we have ourselves and our actions, our compassion, and just acts of kindness, acts of charity. And that's what I felt like my salary was working in a parochial school, at 23,000 a year. That was my act of charity. Don't ask me for any more donations. That's a lot. because when I moved to Idaho, I was paid almost, well, probably double that amount of money. So it's just what you have to do sometimes, for acts of charity. My wife is a former nurse, and I just had surgery. Let's see. Also, thanks for the sub, Daryl. Okay, I'm still on the same page there. Um, so let me finish this up here. There's no place so desolate that you cannot find me there. When Hagar fled from her mistress, Sarah, into the wilderness, she thought she was utterly alone and forsaken, but she encountered me in the desolate place, in that desolate place. There she addressed me as the living one who sees me. Through the encounter with my presence, she gained courage to return to her mistress. No set of circumstances could ever isolate you from my loving presence. Not only do I see you always, I see you as a redeemed saint, glorifying and gloriously radiant in my righteousness. That is why I take great delight in you and rejoice over you with singing. And that, of course, is from Psalms 139, chapter 139, verses 7 through 10. And then the other one was from Genesis 16, chapter 16, verses 7 through 14, the first book there. So, yeah, I knew God was with me when I was in that, the many times I was in that black hole, but I knew he was with me. But sometimes you just, I don't know how to explain it. You just kind of lose faith. There's no other way to explain it. And it doesn't make me, you know, not a good Christian because I do that. I'm human. Sometimes you get so overwhelmed and you're just like, where do I go? And you want to trust God, but people like me try to be in control of things, because being a teacher, I had to be in control of my classroom. So then I had to control, be in control of my family, my children, and then when there's things like that where God's in control, I have to take a step back and say, okay, Father, I will let you handle this. But it's not that easy, is it? It's not that easy. Mm-mm. I struggle with that all the time, just like I told you. As you can see, I talk a lot and I have a lot to say, but I have to learn to listen more. I listen to my friends and things, but a lot of times if I'm on the phone with someone, I know Rhonda, one of my friends on here, I talked her ear off, and sometimes I get so excitable and I interrupt people, or I have to hurry up and say something before I forget it, because I'll forget it. And my my husband's like, you're interrupting me, but I have to hurry up and get it out, because then I'll let him talk first. And he's like, okay, what were you going to say? And I'm like, I don't know. So that's why I was hurried up to tell you. So um how we doing out there, guys? Am I talking too much here? Anyone want to say anything? I'm looking to see if I can answer any questions or anything. um is Grandma Moore in the house? I watched your devotionals. I left you a message. Um, Justin, now Paula was looking for you yesterday. She's like, "Where's Justin?" And what's that young man? He's always on here. Jared. She was looking for Jared too. I guess he's getting his stuff ready for school. Okay, it's 45 degrees out here, Justin. Oh, I'm gonna have to start getting my gloves out. Yep, better late than never. I was saying earlier how I used to be on time, way on time, like an hour ahead. But like doctor appointments now, if I would get there a half hour early, it's like hurry up and wait. So you're a half hour early and then they're running late. So then you wait another half hour. So I'm there an extra hour. So I just got to the point where I'll just get there on time. But if you're a little bit late and there's like an accident or something, they give you 10 minutes to get there, or they cancel your appointment and charge you for it. I got a question. Okay, I have a question. I like God and Jesus, but I don't go to church and I don't read the Bible. Um, Prayer is talking to and listening to God. So if you honor God, uh, if you honor God, like on Sunday was supposed to be, you don't do anything on Sunday. It was the Lord's Day. And that's why I always say, if you could just, take it easy and spend time with your family. Um, those are some of the things that we have Sunday for because Sunday was for a day of rest. But if you like, you're on here, Daryl, you're on here and you're trying to learn about God. You're listening to the word and getting to know it. So eventually, I hope that you'll just pick up some, books like they're not like self-help, but they're like guidance in different ways of the ways of God and things like that. Not necessarily Bible. There's very many versions of the Bible. The Catholics go by the Saint Joseph version of the Bible, and then there's a New King James version of the Bible. So some things are different in the various Bibles. They don't all believe exactly the same thing, and I think it doesn't say you have to go to church on Sunday. You have to go to church on Sunday. It's if you keep holy the Lord's Day. The Sabbath is Sunday and you should keep it holy. But, so many people have to work today and it's just it's kind of you're kind of caught in the middle, like you're in limbo, like, oh, I go this way, and you're pulled both ways. But I sure hope, you have time that day, you have time for your family, for your kiddos, for your wife, because not only do you need to spend quality time with your children, but sometimes you have to get away from the children and give your wife or your husband attention. They need that. Even though you have children and you say, I love you and everything, you have to give your spouse attention because they crave that. Not just a wife, but a husband too. You have to work on your relationships too. So it's not always about the kids. You got to slow down a little bit, just a little bit. And I have to do it as well. My brother, I take care of my brother. He's 9 months younger than me. He's 59, and he can be a handful at times. And then there's times where he don't call me for a week or two, and I have to go find him and see if he's okay. So that takes out of my schedule. But as far as like self care and that, if you have a dentist appointment, or your children or your dog has a vet appointment, you're going to make that appointment, write it in your calendar, correct? Well, why can't you write in your calendar and keep the appointment of spending time with your family? Sunday is this day, just like a dentist appointment. Oh, I can't go. I have a dentist appointment. Why can't you make an appointment like that for your family or for yourself for self care? Because you have to take care of yourself. You can't be a good dad or mom or a caregiver if you don't take time for yourself. Go fishing, do what you got to do. You got to have time for yourself. Because let me tell you, people, I'm telling you something that's a God's truth. I lost myself. I did. I lost my identity. I was a teacher. I loved my kids. I was all involved in that. I had my own children to raise and their activities. I had my husband. I had my home. Then mommy got sick and I had her. And guess what? Slowly, everything that I like to do, I used to do 5K and 10K races. I was a runner. And, now I put on all this weight because my body wasn't used to sitting around. And, even though you're doing a lot of stuff for people, I'm still not getting that cardio, and now I have all these injuries and I'm trying to get back on track. But I digress. I'm just saying, you make that appointment, you set it in stone on your Google Calendar, whatever, set an alarm every Sunday at, I don't know, 1 o'clock. I'm taking a walk with my wife or husband. If we're even going to hold hands. How about that? You got to keep that relationship strong because marriages, they're all falling apart because we're so busy. And the the root of all evil, though, is usually finances, money. Don't let that get between you guys, okay? Keep your marriage strong, keep your family together because a family that prays together stays together. So, you know, teach your kids, Daryl, you can teach I don't know if you have children, but teach your kids the Our Father. I mean, it has everything right there in that prayer, right? And prayer is talking to and listening to God. You don't have to memorize a prayer. So, sorry I went off on that tangent on you, Daryl, but it just flows out of me. So I haven't even seen anything. Speaking of, I don't know where Paula, she might be sleeping, and I can't see from here what you guys are saying. Um, 45 degrees Fahrenheit, about 8 to 10 degrees Celsius. Yeah, pretty cold. Yeah, and I don't have it. I just have this long sleeve shirt on. So, but Daryl brought me coffee, and well, as soon as I came out here, my nose was running, and I blew it before I went out. I must be developing allergies. Um, no, I do. Did that help you at all, Daryl, with 1R? Did that help you, like, to get a perspective on what you asked? Or did I go way off right field or left field or somewhere? I'm sure Justin has something to say about that. Uh, but yeah, that's the way it is there, guys. Try to get together with your family. And I hope you guys understand what I'm saying about that appointment. It's true. If you made an appointment for your dog or your car, you know, you make sure you get your car oil changed. You make sure it's taken care of, right? Maintenance on your car so you can get to work. You got to keep maintenance on yourself, because if you don't have you, you don't have the car to drive or the home, because you have to have you. You should come first in self care. You know, I know we're all short on money, but there's things you can do that are free. Taking a walk doesn't cost you anything. I mean, if you don't have any, shoes to wear, athletic shoes, then that might be a problem. But it's just so important to take care of yourself. And I'm still trying to find out who I am at the age of 60. And hence, that's the name of my channel, Sally D's Reality, because I forget who I am. And that sounds silly, but I really am working on that again. There she is. Justin was just asking about you. He's like, "Where's that Paula at?" And you spend more time with your girlfriend and family. Yes. Um, Sally will always, I cannot read that. Sally will always. So I was just telling Paula, I was just telling them that the Sabbath, the Lord's Day, Sunday, is a day that we should spend with family. We should, especially if you don't have to work. I understand we all need a second income and extra time or extra jobs. A lot of people work 2 jobs or 3. It's just horrible the way everything's so expensive. But we got to spend time with our family. And Paula, I was saying that we make appointments for our car to get fixed, oil change, or our dogs to go to the vet, or a dentist appointment, right? We keep those appointments, but we need to start making appointments with ourselves and our family. So Sunday should be marked off as this is what we do on Sunday. Just like if someone says, can you do this for me 11 o'clock on Friday? And you say, no, I have a dentist appointment. So when they ask you to do something on Sunday, no, I have plans. We have to learn to say that because we have to learn to take care of ourselves. And I am the first one that needs to do that because I lost my identity being a caregiver to my mom, to my dad, and now my brother, and raising a family and taking care of things. Even though I'm retired here and I'm at home, I have so many other responsibilities with my pets and things like that. I still don't do self-care. you know there are so many things I can do that don't cost anything. It doesn't cost anything to you know um, paint my nails or something, something that doesn't cost anything. Or but I do make myself in the morning. I get a shower. I get ready for the day. I get dressed all the way down to my tennis shoes. I don't sit in my pajamas. I don't wear my slippers in the house, like all day. I have shoes in the house that I wear, and I get dressed all the way, because if I don't, then I feel, I don't know, I don't want to say useless, but it's hard to be productive if I'm sitting around in my jammies all day. Another thing is I've been limiting my in the morning YouTube time because I check out all your videos. I watch Paula's all her stuff. I watch my friend Tracy and I watch so many videos, and then I check out the new channels, and I could be on there for hours. And then I have my own that I have to edit and that. And I don't get paid for YouTube. This is just a hobby for me, and it's a love for learning about new people and everything. So, oh, Paula, did you see my maps that I'm putting pins on? Here's the world, Paula, and my little pins from my Flat Stanley age. I'm sure you know who Flat Stanley was. I have these left over. Put them on here. And then the other side is United States. Put the pins on there and keep track of where all our friends are. It's amazing how many friends we have on here on YouTube, Paula. I mean, that's how you and I met, right? That's how Paula and I met on here. Whoop. And then she introduces me to her community, and I introduce her to that community. On my wall, on my community wall, I posted a thing I saw. I was reading something, an article, and I saw this thing. It's about the female elephants and how they protect their part of their community, their herd. Okay. And whenever something's wrong with one of them, they all form a circle. The elephants form a circle around their friend to protect and shield them. And we've had friends on here when Allison wasn't feeling good. I formed a prayer chain. I told Paula about it, and other people. Some other friends of ours are going through a hard time now, and we support them. We pray for them. We support them. We're a shoulder for them to lean on. They can, vent to us. Isn't it great to have someone to vent to that's actually listening to you? Because when I talk to myself, I'm just like, I was so lonely, guys. I was answering myself. That's how lonely I was. Don't have pity on me, but I can use humor to, yes. Yeah, multicolored states. That's true. Um, Hi, Marilyn. I just love your name, Marilyn. Um, I do a video about my map. I'm trying to go back here. Marilyn, you're from Holland? I never got to meet somebody from Holland. Thank you. I met you before, but I didn't know you were from Holland. Flat Stanley is an icon. We used to send the Flat Stanleys out, and he'd go all kinds of places. Paula, one time one parent, or grandparent took the Flat Stanley, took pictures of it. And I think like at Walmart or something, you can get an actual hardback book, like a storybook. You can get all the pictures in there and tell a story. They put that all together for their grandchild. It was so beautiful. I was like, oh. So we read the story in class where her Flat Stanley went. So it was awesome. You're welcome. You're welcome, Marilyn. But last night we sat on the porch and was chit-chatting to a bunch of people here uh, on our live last. It was nice because it was so quiet. There was no noise, no kiddos running around or anything, and people were saying, hello, Mr. Sally, or calling Daryl Bob. But a lot of them were like, it's just fun, having this belly laugh about telling them about. I was telling them about the my neighbor. I ran into Carol, and she wanted to know who I was talking to in the morning. She's like, well, how many people are you talking to? I don't know. It could be 5, could be 100. So as I'm talking to her and I'm putting the groceries from my cart into the bag and not scanning them in the self checkout, and I just look at her and I said, I'm not ringing this stuff up. She goes, oh. So I guess she thinks I'm a klepto or something. I'm a thief. But oh my goodness. Oh, there's Grandma Moore. Now, don't be Grandma Moore. What's your name? Because I'm not calling you Grandma. I was on your station, on your channel. You are not old. I know you have grandchildren, but I don't feel right calling you Grandma Moore when you're so much younger than me. Beautiful girl, beautiful. But I went on Grandma's. She has like her morning devotions. She has like 5 minute devotion, and she talks about it like me. And she's not nearly as talkative as me. So that's so if you want to hear something shorter, you can see her. But it's very beautiful, very very beautiful devotionals. And I was listening to them, and I can really identify with a lot of things that she was talking about in her own personal life. So, GM, okay. It's okay, honey. It's okay. It's okay. I'll just end up calling you sweetie, hun, or lovey. I do that a lot. I try not to do that, but oh no. I go to all my subscribers that are public. I visit them, and Daryl said he is Daryl with one R, and I have to go. He said something about SeaWorld, but I do remember that. But again, I was trying to tell him I go through so many of them, and I watch so many videos. Plus, I have to do my own channel. Plus, I watch my friends' videos, to keep their hours up. And I don't sleep very well. So as soon as I get in front of the computer, boy, I'm conking out. So I have to keep moving, moving. So no problem. I really identified with it, but I'm kind of uncomfortable calling you grandma whenever you're much younger than me. But and I didn't know you were a dasher, so I understand. There's my friend D. Oh, D. I am so glad that I met you. You know that you and your husband are just the sweetest people, and whenever I grow up, I hope I'm just like you. But I loved your video yesterday. When you're talking about your dad, it was so beautiful, to have a relationship like that with your parent. Um, I I didn't have that with my father, but I did with my mom, and I got to spend her last year. Took her to Florida for her last hurrah, even though she was really sick, and we went to the beach one time to put our toes in the ocean. I drove all that way with her, and that's a beautiful thing. But you have the table too, and it may be an inanimate object to other people, like you said, but to have that table where you can feel it, touch it, talk to it, whatever, it's yours, you know? And, that's a lot of this, the decluttering stuff and that. I do have a lot of treasures, but a lot of it is crap. But there are things that I cherish. Like I have my mom's purse. People are like, why do you want your mom's purse? Because it's my mom's purse and it has all her stuff in it. I have a um, hat and gloves, D, that my mom wore, and I put it in a plastic bag and took all the air out of it. And every once in a while, when I miss my mom a lot, I open the bag just to smell it, to smell. How everybody has their own scent. Maybe it's their perfume or whatever. Babies have a scent, and I just smell it to, just take a deep breath in, and then I close it up real quick, and I just reminisce about my mom, like she's right there. I have to go make notes for my live with Candy K this morning. Okay, I will. And you already did a commercial there for yourself, so I don't have to do it. But everybody see that. It's funny how the smells and perfumes and different smells can bring back to somebody. And I miss my mom, and I do that. And people probably think I'm weird, for sealing up this thing, and I sniff at it and stuff. But my best friend, when his mom passed away, he has his mom's pillow, and he has it. I said, put it in a bag. He's, I can still smell it. I said, put it in a bag, and take the stuff out, and take the air out, so it can, it keeps it um, that way. And then I had my best friend Kerm, his cologne. Every time he would hug me, I would smell like him, while on my way home, because we used to go dancing. And he used to give me a hug, and I was much shorter than him. And I just remember smelling his cologne on the way home, and I said, "Dude, I just love that guy," because we were so close, and Daryl loved him too, but he's very, very much missed too. But yeah, sense, isn't that something? Our senses, and even like sometimes where, do you ever like be somewhere and you're like it's you felt like you were there before? What is that called? Um, Rendezvous? Is that what's that called? See, I keep forget. See, Daryl, I do forget stuff. Daryl with one R. Um, yeah, checked your channel, saw the vid. Do you know the singer actress Marilyn Monroe? No, I don't personally know her, but my son likes her. Oh, Justin told you about a phone holder? See, I miss a lot of the conversation because I'm doing the show here and I want to show you the top of my head. It's deja vu. That I do. Oh, my two friends know it. Yes, I like the little dots that D put on there, the accents. Deja vu. I like that. I remember that word. But deja vu, isn't it weird? Like, I'll be like, I'll have a dream about something, and then like years later, it just clicks in my mind, and I'm like, oh, I was here before. And I said, I don't know. It's like, why do we do that? I don't sleep very often, as you guys know. Probably tired of hearing me say it, but last night, I didn't take any medication or anything, but I fell asleep in the recliner as usual. But I had some really weird dreams, and I didn't sleep that long because I don't even know how I went into REM sleep, but rapid eye movement. But I don't know how that happened, but I had some really weird dreams. And then you know how like after you're awake for a little bit, then you're remembering it, and then it goes away. Like if you don't write it down, you'll forget it. And I was like, well, that's weird. And do you ever wake up like really startled, like you feel like something really bad happened, but it really didn't, but it was in your dream. And then all day you're feeling on guard, like, oh, something bad's happening. And you look over your shoulder for the other shoe to drop. And I hate that feeling. I really hate that feeling. But deja vu, I like that deja vu. Is there a perfume named Deja Vu? That would be a cool name for it. Yeah. Maybe I should name one of my alter egos Deja Vu. I have all these plans for all these uh, different skits that I want to do, and I have all their wigs and stuff. I have all of it ready, but it's just the concept of time. I just so I'm not sure if I'm going to have to find another apartment for my brother because my other brother said that John drove down to Maryland because he got written up at his apartment. So I guess you get written up at senior over 55. I don't know. How do you get written up? It's not like a school. So, what is my favorite song? I have a lot of favorite artists. I mean, I love Journey, Steve Perry. I love Prince, and my son turned me on to Pink and Lady Gaga, and I like faster songs. I don't like sad songs. I don't. I always have my earphones on. I take them off when I go online, but you mostly will see me if I do a video. I have earphones around my neck because I listen to music all the time. Because when I was younger, my dad would not allow us to listen to music, no music at all, and I would sneak to my friend's house and listen to her stereo. So I don't know if I told you guys this before, but she was throwing away her stereo. She had it had a record player on it, and it had the tuner radio, and then it had the big hole to put the big giant earphones on, and she was throwing it away. And I was embarrassed to ask. So I waited till after dark on garbage night and I went in her garbage and took that and I hooked it up. And I had to find a way to get earphones, the big hunky ones, put it in there and hook it up in my closet so I can listen to music. Because I don't know. Lady Gaga is a demon. Seriously, keep away. She's a demon. I listen to her music. I'm not praising her. Really, your dad wouldn't let you listen to music? No, I wasn't allowed to listen to music. I wasn't allowed to go to movies. And no, I wasn't, Amish or anything like that. He just was like that. He was narcissist. He ran my life, our lives. He did, however, favor my brother, who I was just referring to. He's the third child, and my sister's the baby. He's 10 years younger than me, and he did a lot for them. And my brother I take care of, we were more or less shifted aside. Now, when I was just the only baby, my dad would take me around and show me off and everything. And then I don't know what happened, but um, my mom always blamed me because she got pregnant with me, and that's why she got married. But my grandma, my mom's mom, was very, very Irish Catholic, and she made her bed, and my grandma's like, "You got to lie in it. You're gonna have to get married. You're pregnant, so that's what you know, your penance is, I guess." But I think both of them blame me because they had to get married. And then my brother came along, and he was 3 months early. So he was born at 6 months pregnant. And she named him John after John the Baptist because he wasn't supposed to live. So that's why his name is John. So, but we're Irish twins. He's 9 months younger than me. And I love my brother dearly, but sometimes it's so hard because since he had his head injury, and I took him to the doctor and really had them examine him, he has schizophrenia, and I can tell when he doesn't take that medicine. So everybody's after him. George Michael, gotta have faith. Her music is cursed. I tried to record. Ah, it's awful to blame a child. Oh, you know what, Kelly? It made me who I am, and you know how I am, Kelly. I love children, and I never made any empty promises to my children or to my class. Only one time I had to renege what I promised my class is when we were going to the pumpkin patch, and I had to cancel it because it was pouring buckets and rain. The kids were crying, "Mrs. Davis, you promised." And I was like, "Oh my God, what am I going to do?" But the principal wouldn't let us go, and the buses wouldn't come. So, I mean, I could have shifted the blame, but wasn't my fault. So, my favorite musician would be Barbara Streisand, Celine Dion, because the voices are absolutely phenomenal. Yes, yes, they are. But we all have different childhoods, and I mean, Dee is a beautiful person with a wonderful personality. Kelly, we all have our different the way we were raised, but it makes us who we are. And I'm never going to regret. I mean, I didn't want to be treated like that or raised like that, but it made me who I am, and I like who I am. I'm learning to like who I am, but I got to find myself again. My identity, because um, I gotta get back to that because so especially Catholics, we're raised to have um that Catholic guilt. Oh, you're doing stuff for yourself. That's being selfish, but really you really have to have that time, me time, to take care of your kids and things like that. And try it for a week or two or a month. Try to make an appointment with yourself and see if it helps you with your life to slow down just a little bit, just a little bit. Um, my favorite, I laughed when you said Catholic guilt. I'm Italian and Catholic, dear God. They can lay, yes, Catholic guilt. It really is a thing. And if you're not Catholic, thank your lucky stars because Catholic guilt is horrible, horrible. And Catholic guilt. Yes, Dee. Yes. You know, um, mm, it is a real thing. So, um, trying to see what you guys are saying up there. But you grew up Catholic too. Do you know what we talk about for Catholic guilt then, right, Kelly? Let me turn this thing around here. Maybe I could put it in front of the sun. Nope, that's not working. I'm going to turn around this way then. Oh, no, then that'll be in your eyes. Let me see. There we go. Oof. I'm on the ottoman, so I'm pretty much sitting on the floor. So we'll see how I get up off this off the ground. But I am gonna post the Salisbury steak meatballs. I just have to finish editing the very end of it because I while I was waiting for them to cook, to cook for that 5 hours, I edited some of it, and then I also what else was I doing? Oh, I was decorating. I don't know if you saw the little short video of Mister. He got into my decorations. He's so cute. He's so cute. And then Jake even came up. Jake was so PO'd yesterday because I forgot to feed him and I stayed up here all day because I usually spend time with him. And he came up and he was like, because he's 15 years old and he's like a chubby. He's a Buddha. He's a Buddha cat. And he's like, meow. Hey, I said, I'm coming, but he would not let up. Don't get me wrong. I love the religion, but I can remember as a child, somebody would always say in the family, God's not going to like that. Yep, yep. I saw the video yesterday of the cats and the dog. So cute. Yes, he did get into your decorations. I took a still picture of it too, and I showed Tracy living in the Wild West. She's like, that should be a calendar picture. I have so many, what I always wanted to do, guys? I wanted to make a calendar picture of all my calendar of all my sunrises and sunsets I have. I have so many beautiful ones. I'll have to do a tour of my house so you can see. I have them on the wall, some of them in a um, collage kind of thing. Good night, Justin. I'm glad you got to see Paula. Um, Goodbye, Justin. I saw the video. Okay, I reread that. But guess I'll let you guys go. It's Saturday. What are you gonna do with your day? If it's the beginning of the day, trying to block the sun from you guys. Um, what are you gonna do with your day? If you're almost finished with the day, what are you gonna do when you reflect? Like, what are you gonna find that you did today that is something positive, acts of kindness, something just to be, nice to one another or someone else you don't even know. And please, I don't know if you guys make your plans for the week on the weekend for your next week, try to put that in there for a week or two, even a month. Plan ahead and see, can I make time for my sweetie, or can I make time for my kiddos or whatever? Try it because we're going too fast, too fast. And you know what? One day we're not going to be here. We're not promised tomorrow. And I know, God forbid, if I ever lost my Daryl, I would fall apart because he's my rock. He's always been my rock. But I love you guys, and please take care of one another. And remember, I'll see you when I see you. Have a good one, guys.